Hey, y'all, welcome to the Stories That Sparkle podcast. I'm Hella Rader, and I'm really excited to bring you episode 2, part 2 of the 4-part series, Becoming the Proof, 4 women who built the thing they needed to ensure it exists for others when they need it. Yeah. Awesome sauce. And this week's episode is my conversation with Annie Herman. She's the founder and a yoga teacher at Queens Community Yoga Studio in Queens, New York City. She's also a wife, a mom, a part-time school teacher. Y'all, she is just, she's doing all the things. And of course, I had lots of questions about that. So we do talk about that, like how do you hold it all together without falling apart? But we mostly focus on her journey with yoga, where it started, and how it literally brought her to this very space, Queens Community Yoga, and opening it and creating a space for other people to come and be a part of community. So it's a really delightful conversation. Had so much fun with her. Always love taking her classes whenever I can. So it's a real treat, and I'm really excited for you to hear it. So without further ado, I invite you to get comfortable, sit back, and listen in. For the woman who feels all alone in it, whatever it is for her right now, the Stories That Sparkle podcast is a series of long-form, intimate conversations with women you have never heard of and could easily pass on the street, in which they share the often messy truth about navigating grief, starting over, reclaiming their voices, inhabiting their bodies, and building community. Welcome to our Disco Ball, the Stories That Sparkle. All right. Well, hi, Annie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We're here, y'all. We're here in the Queens Community Yoga Studio. We're actually in the yoga studio. I'm sitting on a bolster. Yeah, a bolster. I found this place because I've been staying nearby and was given a card. Check out Queens Community Yoga. And I was like, sure. And I've been a fan ever since. So
amazing. We're happy to have you here.
Well, it's delightful. So thank you for being here. Yeah. I wanted to have a chat with you. This is part of a 4-part series of women who have started something that didn't exist. In some way, shape, or form. It's very different things, but in some way, shape, or form, in service also to their community. And the other piece is that you do a lot of different things simultaneously. So I just wanted to get a little bit of like your background, your story in terms of how did you even come into doing yoga to begin with, never mind start a studio. So let's start first with like, how did yoga happen? Like, how did you discover that?
Well, I feel like it's quite a story because I do feel like my whole life has kind of led me up to this point. My whole life has sort of been my yoga journey. And I'm actually recently, right now, I'm enrolled in a consulting program, and that was sort of our first exercise was to tell our yoga journey. So it was actually really helpful that I was able to do that and just sort of map it out and think about it that way, because I never actually put all the pieces together. I grew up as an athlete, and movement and community were always really important to me in my life. And looking back, I also realized that sports were a way for me to channel my anxiety. I always had a lot going on in my head, and looking at me, you probably wouldn't be able to tell because I'm a very quiet, reserved person, but there was a lot going on up there always. And it allowed me to harness that. But at the same time, I was also that very curious kid who was looking out the window, thinking about, just really curious about the vast world and wondering about it, and writing down poetry in my notebook. So I had this side of me that was like the athlete and the poet. And they never really merged too much. And then after college, I played volleyball in college as well. And I started writing poetry, getting really into poetry in college. I actually added creative writing with a poetry focus as my major, and started reading at open mics, and started publishing my poetry towards the end of college and then after college as well. So I think that what really like drew me in with the poetry too was the fact that, and when I started reading and I started sharing my poetry, the idea that something inspired me so much, and I was able to share that with other people in a way that could inspire them as well and make them feel more connected.
Right. So it wasn't just in the writing of it for you, but it was in the sharing of it then with others.
Yeah.
And what they were experiencing hearing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that's very in keeping with this whole premise of mine, which is, together we bring light into dark places, but it's also hearing each other as much as learning how to say the things. It's also about listening to each, and just hearing and being inspired or connecting to something someone else has said, even if it's vastly different from my experience, but it's like something in there I can connect to.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very important for us as people when we feel something strongly, when we feel inspired by something, to give other people the opportunity to do that as well. It's for me, it's just something that I can't hold it in. It's,
right.
Like after college, I became a coach because I needed to share. And that was just sort of like my trajectory. Then I became
in volleyball, a coach or
a volleyball coach.
Wow.
Yeah. After college.
Wow.
And then after that, I became a fitness instructor because I was taking these fitness classes and I just enjoyed them so much and was so inspired by them that I was like, hey, I want to do that. I want to inspire people.
Right. So it's also like seeing someone else do the thing inspires you to like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. Or this is fun and I'm watching them do it. I want to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like the importance of seeing someone else do the thing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And in particular, I can think of certain teachers in particular, people that just sort of stick out in my mind as the ones who really inspired me. There was just something about them. They just had like this heart that it just like it shined through them. And I really felt it. And, because it inspired me, because they inspired me, I wanted to do that for other people.
Right. Right.
So at that time I was also, teaching. I did get because I had a bunch of certifications, like fitness certifications, personal training, a bunch of different fitness classes. And I did get a yoga certification through like a fitness organization. So I was teaching some yoga classes at the gym, but they were more just like kind of fitness based yoga. I wasn't really into yoga at the time. I was more of like a HIIT hardcore exercise kind of person,
right, which is not really certain forms of yoga maybe sort of kind of, but not really. But this is like a whole other vibe, right?
Yeah, totally. I couldn't get into it. I tried, and it was the meditation aspect of it. It was the shavasana at the end, where I would literally just lay there and be like, this is a waste of my time. I need to get out of here.
Right. It's excruciating. Yes. I relate, like early on in my yoga practice of taking classes, I was like, oh my gosh, you want me to just be here doing nothing? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now it's my favorite part. But at the time,
me too, yeah.
I was like, this is so excruciating. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that what I realized through this exercise that when I wrote my piece about my yoga journey, what I realized is that what really did it for me was I got into belly dance, actually.
Oh.
I was in Rhode Island. I went to visit my friend. She was at RISD. I went to visit her at there one night, and we went to a club. And she was like, oh, hey, I just started taking belly dancing classes. She was like, check out some of my moves. So I started trying. I was not very good at the time. And then when I went home, I started taking classes. And I fell in love with it. It was just that like it had the ability, I realized, for me to sort of like merge that poetry and that athlete in me for the first time. Oh. Because there was like a discipline to it, but there was also a poetry to it. When you sort of get like lost in that music and you're feeling your body, it's something really special.
Right. There's something like I'm hearing like integration, or like it's bringing these disparate things in you that are important to who you are together in a one place that it allows for room for all of them to exist.
Sort of like that yin and that yang, that masculine, that feminine energy sort of like weaving together. And I got really into chakra belly dance and also tribal fusion belly dance. And a lot of the people that were in my circles, my teachers, other people that I danced with, they were really into yoga and meditation as well. And that's what really brought me into it, because at that point I started to look at it from a different perspective. And I was really into the meditation aspect of it. I was really into the yoga philosophy as well. And that's what kind of like started my journey there. I decided I wanted to sign up for a 500-hour Ayurveda training. And I had this like amazing community of people, this cohort of people that just sort of like, and this teacher that was just phenomenal. And it just drew me in even more.
Right.
And from then, I started practicing more, and I did a lot of meditation. During COVID, I actually, it was a tough time because of COVID. We were going through a move from Pennsylvania to New York. And I had just had like several miscarriages. So I was going through a lot of grief at the time.
Wow.
And really like yoga and meditation were the things that like, they kept me together. They kept me grounded.
Wow. So I'm hearing like seeing other people do it, and then being surrounded by people who have practiced it and are meditating, and inspires you to find it's like, oh, I can see this differently because I'm connected to these people. And then it starts to become, I hear, like something that's carrying you through a really hard time.
Yeah.
I mean, several miscarriages, it's a lot.
Yeah.
That grief. Yeah.
Now, I don't think that I would have been able to get through it without that. I mean, it just so many things that it's done for me. I used to actually take medication for ADHD. And as soon as I started really practicing meditation, stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a smoker for a while, believe it or not, because I was an athlete and a fitness instructor.
Right. No,
I developed a smoking habit at some point along the way, and I quit smoking when I really immersed myself in yoga and meditation. It just stopped one day.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's
lots
like a
of
real
changes in my life.
lifesaver almost.
Yeah.
Or a life changer, like a big life changer.
Yeah, just the ability to just feel more grounded and more peaceful, more like myself than I ever had before when I started to really experience yoga for what it was.
Right.
So it got me through that time. And I decided when we moved to New York, I was pregnant with my son. And I decided to do an actual real 200-hour training.
Right.
So that's when I did my training, and I started teaching in Queens first at a gym because I was teaching fitness classes there as well. So I was teaching yoga classes. And I did have like a wonderful group of students there, but it really wasn't comparable to the communities that I've experienced before. And I just wanted to build something else. So here I am now, and sharing my passion with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm hearing this experience you've had with community, like being so impactful and bringing you to the thing that helped you integrate into who you are is what I mean, really, and settle into. I love that because for so much of my life, I was just disconnected from the neck down. I was like, nope, it's all in the head. And I'm just going to operate up here, and I don't want to know what's happening down below.
Exactly.
Like, don't want to know.
I think most people are like that.
Don't care. Don't want to know. If I could cut myself off with a knife, I would. This whole thing. But I'm like, I need to get around, so I guess we'll schlep this body around. So yeah, that transformation to what if I actually sink into it and feel into it and inhabit it, and all of that was scary. And doing that within the context of community certainly helps. Yeah. But then I love that inspired you, especially during COVID time, coming out of COVID times where there's so much isolation on top of everything else, to then be like, okay, I want to create the community that I want.
Yeah.
Or make a space for it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Aw. I love it. So is that how then the studio came? Like that was like the starting point for the studio existing?
Yeah, I wanted to create that space because when I was in PA, I had the YMCA, which was an amazing community. I didn't want to leave because of the Y. I also had all of these other yoga circles and communities, these places where, as I said before, I never felt more like myself than I did when I was sitting in these spaces with these people. I felt like I could always talk about the deep things that I couldn't talk about anywhere else. The things, that I would think about when I was a little kid looking out the window. And because to me, like, you can ask any of my friends, I'm not a big small talk person. I can small talk, but I like to talk about the deeper things in life. And I like to have really meaningful relationships. And this kind of space invites that for people. You don't have to. Right. You don't have to come in here and have a deep conversation. You can come in and you can say nothing. You can lay your mat down and you can just be here with us, and that's fine. But that's the whole point of it. It's a safe space. You can do what you like.
Right.
And I just want people to feel that, feel like they're a part of something. And doing it through yoga is just so special because, as you said, you talked about you only felt like from the head up before, you weren't feeling your body, but being able to have that experience, that hour class of really like getting into your body and getting to know yourself, you find a more peaceful version of yourself. And therefore, if you're able to find a more peaceful version of yourself, then you can bring that more peaceful version of you out into the world with you.
Right.
And I really do believe it allows us to create a more peaceful place.
Right. Well, all know we can use more of that.
We can use
in
more
this
of that.
world that we live in. I'm like, what's
Yes.
happening? Oh my gosh. So what was the so it's COVID times, you've given birth, you have a young son. Is that your only child?
I have a daughter, a 16-year-old daughter as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a 16-year-old, now 16-year-old daughter. You've just given birth to a young baby boy, and you're like, I'm going to start a yoga studio. So
it was a few years before it happened.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah,
but
not right away.
The idea started, and then what was that journey between, I have a vision for an idea of to create this place, and what was that, how did that unfold for you? What was that like?
It was in my head for a long time. I didn't really take myself seriously. I did try to, I tried to have some classes at the park and tried to carve out a space at home where maybe I could have small classes, but I realized it just wasn't the same. And I was just always kind of searching around for some kind of studio. And I did think sometimes, well, I just have to have one. But the idea of starting a business was really scary.
Right.
And then, I don't know, it just kind of like happened very quickly, actually. I was talking to my husband, and we were driving by the building here, and we had just discussed it like the week before or something, and didn't talk about it since then. We saw the space was available, and I was like, that could be a really good space. So I called the realtor, and still thinking like, this is probably not going to happen. I'm just going to make the phone call, and then and we'll see what happens from there.
Right.
And she said that there was another woman who's looking at the space who owns a dance business, and she wants to move into the space, but she wants to split the space with someone else. So I could give her a call if I wanted. So I said, okay, like I'll give her the call, still thinking this is probably not going to happen,
right.
but
Whatever.
we'll see. Yeah.
Right.
So I did call her, and we just clicked.
Amazing.
It seemed like the perfect situation, and then it just started going from there. It was happening at that point.
Right. Like that's it. Like game over.
Yeah. And
Whether you want it or not, it's happening now.
Yeah, and I was scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no,
I was scared, but I was like, I'm already doing it. I'm doing it now, so.
Right. So we are.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that's a big, that's one thing to dream of the thing or to ponder the thing and want the thing, and then it's a whole other thing when it's actually there. And now it's all these practical things, and the money and the how do I do this? I don't even know what I'm doing stuff.
Yes.
Like, it starts to become very scary and overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when the space was almost ready, the construction had started, it was like half done. And I realized, like, I have to find teachers now.
Oops, I didn't.
And I remember putting the ad out. And then after like 2 hours, I'm like, nobody's responded. Like, what if nobody responds and I don't find any teachers? What am I going to do?
Right.
And then, like, literally within like 2 more hours, I had 5-10 messages from people, from teachers who were interested. So, it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, but I did have a lot of moments like that, for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I relate to the, like, I'm going to do this thing and then it just kind of goes out to wherever, and I have no control over what comes back, if anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, am I willing to just do it anyway, or do the next thing after that anyway, and just keep doing the next thing and the next? Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful for my husband because he's been such a strong support through all of this. Like, I've had many moments, ups and downs through the process, and he's sort of been my rock with it, and he's always encouraging me. So that's been really helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about, like, the support. Like, you've got your husband who's being supportive. Any, like, and beyond that, or in addition to, like, what does that support look like for you as you're building this, or have been building this?
A lot of it has been my husband. For sure. I think that the dance studio owner, we both support each other. Motion Scoop Dance is right next door here. And Lauren, Lauren Webster, she's the studio manager now. She has been a tremendous help. I'm so grateful for her here. The staff in general, just, the karma yogis, the teachers, everybody's just been so supportive and so helpful. And, of course, my friends as well, my close friends have always said, what do you need? When we first opened, they came in and they helped me set everything up.
Aww.
So
I love that.
Yeah. And my daughter's been helpful whenever I need something. She'll come help me as well.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. So I was curious because, I mean, you since you moved here from somewhere else, also then pandemic, how was in terms of just making friends here that are local, not just, I mean, because as someone who gets around a lot, like, I know I have my people where I live, but it's hard when you're sometimes away to be like my peeps, I can call them, but it's different than when you can like sit across from someone,
Yeah. And as I'm sure as we get older, it's definitely harder to make friends.
Yeah.
And when you have kids too. So I still have my circle. I went to school in Brooklyn. I went to college in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I went
I didn't
to
realize
LIU,
that.
Brooklyn.
Okay.
That's where I met my husband. And I have a lot of friends in the not a lot of
so
friends, but I have a core group in New York still.
It was basically a homecoming in a different kind of way. Moving
sort
back
of.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, I've been in Pennsylvania for the majority of my life, for growing up, and then we lived there for 17 years. So I was leaving a lot behind there.
Right.
But still, it wasn't like I was coming here to know friends.
Right. Yeah. Because that can
support.
That can definitely be daunting. It's like I don't know anybody. You know? And I can I can make small talk, but I prefer also the deeper conversations. So that takes a little longer to get there.
Yeah.
With people. So.
But I have found that just starting the studio, it allowed me to connect with a lot of people in the neighborhood in general. I think, I'm really appreciative of the community here and how everybody sort of joins together. And now when I'm walking down the street, partly because of the studio, I see this person walking their dog, and I see this person at the park, and I know people for the first time. And I didn't know people when I came here. When I go to the store, or I'm on Grand Avenue, I see people that I know all the time. And that was sort of what my life was like in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So it is refreshing to have that again. I mean, sometimes you do want to go out and like not see anybody.
Right. You're like,
you want to like go out in your sweatpants.
It's very small. I live in a small town. It's very small town vibes.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I wish you didn't all know who I was, so to speak, you know, because I'm like, I'd like to just be in my sweatpants and
not brush my hair,
like
not wash my face.
I don't want to try that hard today. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the name of your studio is Queen's Community Yoga. Mm-hmm. So community, I mean, aside from how we've already talked about it, but like there was clearly a mission within in how you even named this space and how, you know, it functions, because I know you have events here and gatherings of different kinds. Like around your 1-year anniversary, there was a gathering and like a potluck of some sort,
it was
right?
Really nice.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm bummed to miss that. But I was really intrigued by, like, you know, there's the yoga studios itself piece of it, but then there's this other part that you're looking to build into it, which I would love to hear a little bit more about as well.
Yeah, sure. So I would say that to me, community is sort of at the heart of everything we do. And being at that potluck, that 1-year anniversary potluck, it was really special to be there and to see how the community has come together in just 1 year. I mean, it's only been a year. I think the community still has so much room to grow, but it was just amazing to see. It was a special night for sure. But to me, community really means creating spaces where people can feel safe enough to be themselves, like I had mentioned before. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And not spaces where people feel pressured to look a certain way or to have everything figured out. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of people are carrying stress, a lot of people are carrying loneliness, a lot of people are carrying anxiety, and they're carrying it quietly. And I want the studio to feel like a grounding space for people to come to get that grounding that they need, and to not feel so alone, to feel like they're a part of something. And I think Queens in particular is such a beautifully diverse place. I mean, many people say it's the most diverse place in the whole world. And I love creating spaces where people from different backgrounds and experiences can come together, and we can realize how much humanity we can share together.
Right.
It's just very special in this particular place, which is why I just love the name Queen's Community Yoga. Yeah. And I love that I chose that. I never wanted the studio to feel transactional. I just wanted to feel human.
Right.
And some of the most meaningful moments are the small ones, you know, the conversations after class, the people remembering each other's names, and seeing someone just walking in, feeling anxious, and then leaving a little bit lighter.
Right. It's interesting, like what the visual or what came into my mind as you were talking about that was back to the poetry. It's almost like our bodies in those movements, doing yoga together, are the poetry in movement. Yeah. And we're sharing without having to say anything, something of what's going on. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, a couple of times when I came to classes here, one of yours and Katie's, I would be like, like having some big feels and whatever. Like I needed to work it out, and I didn't have to talk about it, but I could be witnessed in that moment of having that, whether anyone really knew that was going on or not, didn't even matter, but like being in that space together. So yeah, I had that sort of picture of like poetry in motion. Yeah. And I love that. Like it's safe to like be wherever you're at and like however you are. Mm-hmm.
I love that you say that, you know, because it makes me feel like we're doing what's meant to be done. I want, you know, all of the classes to feel like sort of a journey, and it's like each class to feel like a journey for someone. Like they walk in this particular way, and we take them through an hour class. And, you know, to me, like I love that you made that poetry connection, because the poetry of it is so important. I want my class to be a journey for people. I want them to experience something, to perhaps come to a realization about themselves in the class, whether they realized it like when they leave the class or not. I would love for something to manifest, something to come up for them, to change them, and
Right.
or maybe not even to change them, but just to bring something up that's already there,
Right.
that can help them through life. And I really like, I like for my classes to be sort of like a vibe,
And
like
they are from everything from the lighting. And then I noticed, I don't know if this is newer, but I don't remember it from the first class. Not that I've been to that many classes, but is the sound bowls?
yeah.
Is that a newer addition?
We did just purchase some sound bowls for the studio, and some of the teachers have their own bowls,
Right,
but
yeah.
we have 3 of the chakras, so we're making our way to all 7. But yeah, most of the teachers use them now, and then one of our teachers has donated this rain stick as well. We're hoping to get some chimes. I'd really like to get a gong one of these days.
I love it.
Yeah, so it just adds to that sort of
Yeah.
poetic experience.
Like the sound part, to be together physically, moving physically.
I mean, we do have online options for we do have some members who they have jobs that don't allow them to be here for certain classes, or they're
Oh,
traveling.
that's right.
and-
You've added the component where like I
Yeah.
could even join a class when I'm in Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Yeah. But in those cases, a lot of these people, they already know the community. You already know
Right.
the community. So you're just joining in and you see, hey.
Right, staying connected, like technology as a way to stay connected to the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
separated from. Yeah, that's amazing. So, what's your vision for the studio moving forward?
To continue what it is that we're doing. I would love to have more members of our community to come and to experience what we have to offer here at Queens Community Yoga, and to really give them the opportunity to be able to experience the community here.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that if they came here, that they would want to come back.
And how's your journey ongoing? Like now that you've got just over a year into this, like I wanted this thing and here it is, it's now happening, and I'm now a year and a half or so into the thing. Like how's that feel?
It has its ups and its downs, and I mean all of it is an up, of course. But sometimes it's like it feels like it's too much to handle, and sometimes I feel like I have it all under control.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, because at the same time, I mean, you're married, you have these 2 kids, you're also teaching
Yes.
part-time, right?
Yes.
When we got here, there was like homework with one of the kids that you're working on. They're off school today. Yeah. So how do you handle, like that was the thing that I was really struck by also was like, how do you hold all of that together without everything falling, feeling like you're falling apart?
Well, I try. I do my best. For me, for certain, my family comes first. My kids always come first. So that's always going to be my priority. But I try to manage. I try to just like carve the time for each thing and set that time each day. Of course, things are coming up in the studio while I'm at work and vice versa that I have to deal with. But I also do try to incorporate some kind of movement and meditation into my life. Not every day, but at least 5 days a week. So I have my own yoga practice. I try to get at least 2 solid hour-and-a-half practices in a week. And then maybe have like a few smaller practices mixed in there as well. I run. I'm a runner, and that really helps me to clear my head. So I try to go for a run at least 2 or 3 days a week, a nice long run. And just other forms of exercise. I do some weight training and things like that. But this kind of really helps me to, just like when I was a child and I was an athlete, to sort of harness some of that energy, that anxiety, so that I'm able to focus more. I mean, my husband knows, like, if I go through several days of like no movement, then things start to happen. And he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be around you right now.
I love it. Things are happening over there. We don't get away.
Yeah.
Stay away from that danger zone. No, I relate because I get very revved up. Like I get like my, I mean, for me, a lot of times it manifests and I'll take on more than I should, or, just because I can doesn't mean I should, and I'll be like, oh, I can do all this. And I'm like, and then I crash. So I'm working on that more sort of balance, leaving more space, taking care of my body first, and then tackling the day, but in a more intentional way, I guess. And then, there's just going to be stuff that you can't control that's popping up, but
Yeah. Sometimes it's like me doing 3 things at one time, as I'm sure you know as well.
Yeah.
I just saw this reel on Instagram a few weeks ago, and it was like, when you're a small business owner and you look like you're in a toxic relationship all the time. And it was this woman that was just in random places, like on her phone in the middle of the street, just like texting.
Yes.
And at the supermarket, just like standing in the middle of the aisle, texting, looking at her phone. And that's totally me sometimes. Like I'm at my son's swim class or like my daughter's volleyball game, or standing in the middle of the street, texting on my phone, like dealing with some crisis, and yes, looking like I'm in a toxic relationship.
Right. You're like, I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. But I know it doesn't look good. No, I totally relate. Like I'll be like walking along, editing a reel or something. I don't know, something. I'm like, really, you should just stop.
Wait until
you get to a spot, sit down, and maybe then work on it or whatever it is you're going to work on. But it can feel like so urgent.
Yeah,
I got to do this right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My husband he's been had a leadership role for a long time, for many years. And he's always telling me, like, just set the time aside to like answer emails. And my life totally changed when I started doing that. Don't respond right away. And I'm like, but I can't.
Right.
Like this thing needs to be dealt with right now.
The email just arrived. I must immediately respond to it. No, I know. No, that's like one of my least favorite things. I recently started doing that where I'm like, okay, Mondays are like quote unquote admin day, where I just get some stuff like that done. I don't follow this rule very well, but I one of the things I learned is I'm a terrible boss to myself.
Yeah.
And I remember like being in, other jobs I've had over the years, being like, if I ever have my own business, I'm going to be a better boss than that or whatever, like, taking notes. And then I'm like, well, you're not a very nice boss to you. So I've had to unlearn, like, be nicer and be more appreciative of me as a boss of myself. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah.
I have those moments.
Yeah. So it sounds like the taking care of yourself physically and then also just creating some structure sounds like
creating structure.
Yeah. Like
for sure.
For admin or emails or just pauses. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do most of my work for the studio at night, actually. I have some mornings, but I've actually recently just picked up more hours at my teaching job. So I'm doing that for at least half of the day. And when I get home at night, it's, stuff with the kids. So it's like when my son goes to bed, after we've eaten dinner and everything, I usually start my work around like 8:30. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm up doing studio work until midnight. So that's kind of like my studio work time.
Right. It's nice and quiet.
It's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
I feel like I can just finally like sit down and relax, have a cup of tea. So it works right now. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about it is that I love everything that I do.
Right.
I love my family, of course. I love the studio and the mission here, and I love yoga, and I love my teaching job. I love teaching students. I don't think that I'd ever be able to give that up.
What age are the students that you teach?
Mostly elementary. I teach some middle school as well. Mostly a reading specialist. I primarily work with students that have like language-based learning disabilities, dyslexia, but I also do teach a little bit of math as well. So a little bit of everything.
Right. That's pretty awesome.
Like extra help. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're very in touch with your why, like why in each of these areas. And there's sort of, maybe it's the same why, but you're very clear about what your why is.
For sure. And I think there is like a major overlap between the two. It's just as like my mission with the studio is to have people come in and not feel like they're being judged. A lot of the students that I work with, they've come from places where they've been judged for many years because they're just neurodivergent. They just think differently. They learn differently. And so they're treated differently. They're treated like they can't perform. They can't do things. And they just really need to be taught the right way. So when they walk into my classroom, I want them to know, first of all, that they are not being judged, that they're coming in as they are, and we're going to just start working, and we're going to start working towards a goal, and they're going to start feeling better, just like people do when they come into the studio. It's not performative. It's not an assessment when you walk in this room at all. You walk in, you're welcome as you are. You start practicing, and we'll get somewhere together.
Right. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, because I mean, I have found like if I don't, like being very clear with what my why is in those moments when it's hard, overwhelming, when I'm doing toxic relationship behavior and texting at the middle of the street, like just stop walking and finishing this text or email. And I want to just be like, why am I doing any of this? Like, I don't want to, this is a lot. And then it's like, oh, here's why I'm doing this. And it helps me center back into like, keep doing it,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah. Okay. So to close, I guess my question is, what would be the one thing, if you could go back in time to when you were thinking about doing any of this and adding this to your repertoire or your plate, the studio and opening one, and before you found the space and you're like, oh, this is happening now, whether I planned it that way or not. But if there would be one thing you could say to that former version of yourself that you know today that you didn't know then, to sort of help her out, what do you think what would that be for you?
I think I know it's really cliche, but I really do believe in the idea of trusting the process. I don't think I would have done anything differently. I think that I've learned that meaningful things grow slowly. And just like I do with my students, I've learned over the years to have patience with my students, to not expect to see the results right away. But over time, you start to see the results and you start to see the confidence building. And so it's sort of the same thing here. Just trusting the process. Just keep plugging away and eventually it will get there. I know that community takes time. I know that trust takes time. I know that relationships take time. And I've also learned that people connect much more deeply to authenticity than to perfection.
Ooh,
yeah.
Right, because we're all chasing perfection for some, I don't even know why reason. Even when I'm doing it, I'm like, why do I want it? Why perfection? Anyway, so
we're always chasing perfection.
And it's just crazy pants because you're right. Like people are like, I can't relate to perfection, but I can relate to like a real person having a real day with, messiness involved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that some of the most meaningful moments at the studio aren't the polished ones. They're the small human moments, like I've talked about before, the conversations after class, the someone feeling safe enough to open up. And that does happen a lot here, especially after a class, in some of our workshops too. People supporting each other naturally. And at the end of the day, trends are going to change. Wellness culture is going to change. Business strategies are going to change. But kindness, integrity, and genuine connection never stop mattering. So as long as I maintain my core values, then everything will be okay.
Right.
And I will just trust the process.
Right. Oh, I needed to hear that today. So
good.
I'm like taking notes on my leg, pretend fake notepad, but no, really, because I go through those dark times of like, I I didn't do this and I should have done that, or I didn't do it this way, I did it that way. And I'm like, yeah, but because of all of that is how you know what you're doing today, that you can learn from that, or, it's part of the evolution of getting to here. You couldn't have just woken up here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love this.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes from, that athlete in me as well. It's something I learned a lot about being an athlete. It's just being patient and the results will come. Staying resilient,
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting you say that, because I spoke last year to a woman who's a concert pianist and also a tennis player. So for her, the two are very much the same thing in terms of what makes her good at either one of those is ultimately like just the practicing, the repetition, like just doing it and, investing the time to just do it and not having it all figured out from the get-go, but keeping at it.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of her journey, was that translated from being an athlete to her piano playing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's reminding me now of your poetry
have to
connection.
listen to that one. Yeah.
So tell me, I was going to end with the one thing, but now I'm like, wait, I forgot to ask. Are you still writing poetry?
Occasionally I do, not nearly as often as I used to. I'm not submitting anything for publishing anymore. I did have this very long poem that I was working on for a long time. I think it's 30 pages now.
Wow.
I haven't done anything with it. And occasionally I'll go back and I'll revisit it and just kind of add things and take things away. It's called The Cyclical Journey to Denounce the Self. So it's taking the ego out of everything and revisiting that all the time, because of course the ego distracts us.
Right.
So it's sort of this poem, it's this journey that begins with something falling into the sea and going back to ancient times. And yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, maybe one day,
One day.
Right now I'm just I think that since I had my son, I'm just really focused on that, and then opening the studio and other things. And I go through waves where I get back into that mindset again. And I have my moments, but I think that the time will come again where I'll really be there.
Right. Which
but
works perfect.
It's always there. It's always up here in my head. I'm always a poet.
Oh yeah. Once a poet, always a poet.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's I'm a writer deep down in me, and that's my first love in many ways. So I'm always gonna write, even if it's just for myself.
Yeah.
In my journal. It's not gonna ever go away. So it sounds again like trusting the process with that too. That will come back around when it's time.
It will.
Yeah.
I know it will. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Annie, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This has been delightful.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
And really thank you for, stepping out and opening, having the vision and opening this place, because it has made me feel like I have a place when I'm here. So, selfishly speaking, it's really been grounding for me to know this place is here. So,
yeah, I'm happy to have you here.
Oh, well, I'm excited to take more classes. I'll put up all the links to the Instagram page and the website.
Amazing. Yeah. And I also wanted to mention that we do also have partnerships with local organizations.
Oh, right,
so if anybody that's listening is interested in having us come to your school, your organization, and run yoga classes, we're all about, it's part of our mission, spreading yoga around the community. So we'd love to do that. We have a lot of projects and things going on right now with that. So
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And that's all on the website, right?
It's on the website. Yeah, you can reach out. The contact's there. We have a partnership page.
Okay, great. Oh, amazing. Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you again. Yeah. And I'll be here.
Nice.
I'll see you in class.
Good. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Stories That Sparkle, a space I created for women to share in their own voices the intricacies of their stories. And thank you again to Annie for joining me. What a treat, a real pleasure to sit with her in the yoga studio. I love taking classes with her. It's truly a joy and a pleasure for me anytime I'm in the Queens area. So if you are anywhere near Maspeth, Queens, and you're looking for a yoga studio, look no further. Queens Queens Community Yoga is the place to be. And I'm just really struck again, like similar to my conversation with Georgia, which was episode 1 of Becoming the Proof. Annie talks about the same idea of building a room, building a space because she needed one and wanted one, and then opening that space up and making it available to the whole community, the local community of all kinds, shapes, sizes, ages. It's just really inspiring to me. And personally, as a one-woman audio-visual department, I totally could relate and appreciated hearing from Annie about, doing all the things, but also having so many different things going on within yourself and finding ways to combine, in her case, right, the athlete, the poet, the mom, the wife, the teacher, and the founder of a place and a business all at the same time. And it's totally related to the standing in the middle of the street, sending an email, because that's how that goes. And I also really appreciated from her hearing about, asking for help and getting help and support in various different ways from her peeps. Yeah, it really helped me at a moment where I was rethinking a few different things in the way I do what I do. Next up in the series, Becoming the Proof, is Megan Klein. She's the founder of Little Saints, a non-alcoholic beverage company. She started that because she had a need and discovered in the process that a lot of other people did too. So really excited for that. That comes out in 2 weeks. So stick around, come back for that. And of course, if you have a story you want to share or a topic you'd like me to cover in an episode of the podcast, please hit the submission button. It's in the links in the show notes. Drop me a line, hellarader@substack.com. Reach out, let's connect, and I would love to get your story out here because together we bring light into dark places.